Hello to Vienna. I see in the chat the first messages. So you are really here. Good afternoon to the Czech Republic, to Linda in the chat, to Eva, to Austria,
Malta,
and Malta. Hello. So welcome from all of countries here. You can send a message to the chat if you would like to say hello and which country you are. It's very nice to see it in the chat. So thank you very much for your messages. Good afternoon to Poland. Okay, so it looks that we are here. All participants, I hope, are on board. Yeah, I see in chat from Latvia, Spain, Serbia. Very nice. So I would like to start. If you can use the chat and not microphones now, please control your microphones and say hello just through the chat. Thank you. You can discuss with us later after our presentations. Thank you very much. Okay, so we can start. So I am very happy to be here on the Euroguidance webinar. I am working in the Czech Euroguidance Center, and my colleague from Poland is here. So Poland and Czech Republic are responsible for preparation of this seminar. So big thanks to the Poland for a lot of work around preparation. And also I would like to thanks to Euroguidance Serbia, because we are on the technical safety and support from colleagues from Euroguidance Serbia. And I am happy to hear introduction from Euroguidance Greece. So you can see our cooperation, which is very, very important in Euroguidance. So we cooperate all countries together. So from my side only, I would like to say that very interesting speakers today are here, like from the Czech Republic, for example. I know the ladies very long time. I have nice experiences from a lot of face-to-face seminars and webinars in the Czech Republic. So I'm happy to have you here and to share experiences. And I am happy that you know each other, because we have very, very advanced speaker also from the Poland. And it's so nice that you know each other also. So you know each other from the Erasmus Plus projects. So it's perfect example of cooperation in Europe today. So enjoy the webinar, and I would like to ask Vouli if you would like to start now. So please start. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Petr. Good afternoon, dear colleagues from all over Europe, dear Euroguidance colleagues, dear organizers, dear speakers. It's a great opportunity for me once more to have this communication with you and share a brief presentation about the Euroguidance Network as a knowledge and expert network and its role in supporting EU priorities, promoting transparency of qualification and capacity building of guidance practitioners. I believe that most of you already know Euroguidance from our activities, but just give me 5 minutes to say some more things about us. So Of course, Euroguidance, it's a program that works under the Erasmus Plus program. And just to say some historical thing, we're a rather old but fresh program, of course, project. We were established in 1992 under the Petr program with centers from 12 EU member centers, but as member states. But now, actually, we're a network of national resource and information centers for guidance from 33 European countries already. Of course, as you can understand, 33 different European countries have our own national characteristics and priorities, and but of course we have some various projects that we implement according to the country. Nevertheless, all of us, we serve the common goals of Euroguidance Center. This is our umbrellas. Under it, we implement our programs. And these common goals is cooperation and support at union level to strengthen policy system and practices for guidance within the Union. The European dimension, the development and upgrade of European dimension, and share it with our guidance community, national guidance community, is very important for us. Support competence development of guidance practitioners. This initiative now, this training, is one of the projects we do for this goal. Provide quality information on lifelong guidance. Quality is very important aspect for our activities, and that's why we evaluate very often ourselves and our quality, and we need the feedback from the end users and guidance community in order to improve ourselves constantly. And then promotion of the European opportunities for learning, mobility, and career management. Guidance and mobility are the two big aspects and priorities for Euroguidance. And of course, we cooperate and we serve this goal through the Europass portal. So, in order to enhance our activities and our networking, it's very important, the networking, in order to enhance with the guidance community in Europe and international level, and the promotion of the awareness of European instruments on skills and qualification on national level to guidance practitioners and relevant organization. We cooperate constantly with other bodies, as you see, like Europass Advisory Group, CEDEFOP Careers Net, International IBG, ETF, and other organizations. And we believe in this networking very, very much. So in this period, now, sorry, give me a moment, please. Okay. Okay. Now the eligible period for now, it's for us now, it's from the January of 2024 until the end of 2026. This is our period for now, and our budget is something less than 9 million euros. And with this budget, we are planning to do our best for our guidance community and our end users. So, another very important priority and role for Euroguidance is the promotion of mobility and for studying and working in Europe. That's why we cooperate close with Europass and EQF networks as networks that support the visibility of skills and qualification and transparency. In this context, very often we organize courses, training courses for guidance practitioners on the new Europass platform, of course, in close association and cooperation with the national Europass centers, and in order to ensure that this portal, this Europass portal, is going to be used by the guidance counselor and then by end users. Here we have some examples that we had last year, 2023. We have implemented an e-course on Europass platform, and it's for us in Greece. We are very close cooperate with Europass, and we realize that this cooperation promotes the importance of the networks working together. Then another big thing is the capacity building of guidance practitioners. As we mentioned before, this initiative now has to do with this priority. I believe that if we were all together in a room, we could share the other training activities and initiatives that you may participated in previous webinars and study visits and academia. Now, just to say a few things, and I want to not to speak more because we have many interesting lectures. The capacity building of guidance practitioners is implemented in the network by various methods and projects. So we support competence development of guidance practitioners and raise their knowledge on awareness or recent developments in lifelong guidance through training, webinars, cross-border seminars, peer learning activities, conferences, study visits, and other learning opportunities. Additionally, we establish and we develop and we follow up and we upgrade information and support tools. Just two things in the pictures in the slide. In our website, Euroguidance EU, you can find the guidance system description from all the members and the good practice database. There are two very useful tools to have an idea, both to the guidance systems in all around Europe with the 33 members, and a good practice database. We're very proud of that because you can find projects, methods, tools on different career guidance aspects that are very useful for our job. Additionally, just give me a second. In the Euroguidance EU, you can find all publications, Inside Magazine, Euroguidance Highlights, and newsletter. In these three publications, you can find information about our activities, our initiatives, and on the same time, articles on career guidance issues, initiatives, national initiatives and projects that are very useful for sharing, we believe, and we upgrade and update all this information constantly as we can. Additionally, we have online learning opportunities like webinar and e-courses. As you know, our webinar now is recorded, so you will have the opportunity to visit our website and share this with other colleagues or get some information later on. And of course, we have the study visit, academia study visits, and other study visits that are very important peer learning activities. And we have the opportunity to share among us technologies and knowledge and networking that is very important for our job. I don't want to take more of your time. I believe that you have a clue of our network, a short, but coming to the end of my presentation, and I would like to thank again my colleague for giving me this opportunity. I would invite you to visit our website, euroguidance.eu, because there you can have many information, not only about network activities and developments, but which is very important, of course, but about developments and the European dimension from other networks that we cooperate with, and of course from national examples. Thank you very much. I would like to give the floor to the next speaker. Thank you for being here. Hello? Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, I think it's my part now, but I have technical request to give me opportunity to share my presentation with participant.
Yeah, Vouli, just
I close my, yes, I have
stop
closed
sharing.
mine.
Yeah, great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so only one technical question. Do you see my my presentation? And can I request about audio answer?
Yeah, everything is great.
Yes, thank you. And do you see that my slides changes?
Yeah, everything great.
Okay, so it's perfect. Yes, so we can start. Hello, good afternoon, and for counselors from Poland, dzień dobry, witajcie. I want to welcome all participants of this today's webinar. My name is Barbara Górka, and it's honor for me to share practice in the field of accessibility career counseling from Poland. I represent National Office of Europass and Euroguidance in Poland, and also Imago Foundation, non-governmental organization from city Wrocław in Poland. And today I share with you practice in both roles. As a career counselor, I work with clients with different kinds of disabilities from 20 years, also include migrants with disabilities. And on the other hand, I am also service designer. So I'm responsible in my organization for design, accessible processes, tools, etc., together with our experts, practitioners. I mean, colleagues with experience of different kinds of disabilities, experience of migration, psychiatric crisis, for example. Okay, I start with some quote I was chosen for you. It's sentence from Professor Norman Amundsen from Canada. When starting work with a new client, it is worth reaching for the principles of multicultural counseling, because both the counselor and client come from different worlds, and it is necessary to spend some time identifying similarities and differences. So for me, for our organization, is the core of diversity counseling, open for clients, for help seekers with many needs, special needs. And I hope that this quote will be the core for my presentation today. I don't need read for you this slide. It's some biographical note. Maybe I add some practical thought that this combination, this connection, career counseling. In our organization, we use mostly social dynamic methods and tools, and standards of accessibility give us a very practical and useful solution for our clients and colleagues with different disabilities or other special needs. So I hope that this proposition from Poland will be useful also for your current practice. We start with imagination. Who is a person with special needs? And it's first question from me to you, and I want to invite you to answer this question on our chat. We have many participants from all Europe, and I think it's good to notice, to see on this chat who is for me as a career counselor, client, help seeker with special needs. We could find different contexts of our work as counselors. So I invite you to write on the chat your proposition. What is a main group with special needs in your current work as a career counselor? I think it will be a lot of clients with different kinds of disabilities, but maybe you can share with us some topics, some proposition, work with group with another special needs. Maybe it depends of law context in our in your country, social context. Thank you. And this graph inside these slides, it's only proposition for me, for you. Why? Who is the person with special needs? And of course, when we think and we focus on the accessibility during different processes, I think also about my colleagues, about my partners. They are sometimes also person with special needs, and I need some tools, some processes which are friendly and open also for him. Okay, so what is the aim of career counseling for person with special needs? And the answer could be this sentence and this proposition from our side. Support for person in the process of transition from personal situation to social situation, but also help support people with special needs to developing competences of handling change and the so-called transitioned competences, very important in nowadays on the labor market. And give me moment, and I run with you to next slide, because I want to focus with you for one context. I chosen law context to thinking about needs, our help seekers, clients with special needs, and I chosen Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. You can see the quota from this convention. And I think the most interesting and useful part is about interaction between person with dysfunction, with disabilities, and environmental and barriers, challenges for these clients. And also the recommendation that interaction with various barriers may limit their full and effective participation in society. When I read this sentence, I think about barriers or some limits for this group of clients from fragile social groups to take part in career counselor in our institutions. So let's think about it also in this law context, institutional context. If these groups of clients have really open access to career counseling session in our institution. Okay, and I come back to this slide because I want to underline this part that to realize this goal is possible when counseling processes are accessible. What I mean, we have three very important fragile stages for auditing accessibility. The stage of organizing career counseling, counseling process, and of course monitoring quality of both service. And these 3 sensitive stages we need to analyze still during this process of organizing support for people with special needs. Of course, they will be different different specialists responsible for every stage, but I come back to this next slides. Okay, and more exercises. I know that we have limited interaction during this webinar, but I want to invite you for very short exercise. First, I have request to you to read this one sentence with description of one help seeker, some participant. So I give you a moment to read this sentence. Okay, thank you. And now I ask you to imagine with some details the current situation of this client, this help seeker, what he's doing, maybe which challenges or opportunities he noticed in his life. Try to imagine with some details the current situation of our participant. Okay, and now I prepared for you 3 sentences about 3 situation. I read it for you, and I want to ask you about choose answer yes or no if the situation in career counseling it's possible for this participant from our exercise. Okay, and first please collect the answers only in your mind, and after I ask you to write on the chat numbers of answer yes, only answer yes. Okay, so first situation, first sentence, it's you can meet as a career counselor this client during online session, yes or no. Okay, second situation, the client can register at the employment office every time. Thank you. And last, final sentence, we can offer the client a predisposition test as a career counselor. Yes or no. Okay. And I finish for a moment sharing the presentation, okay, because I can see chat well, okay. So let's check your responses. I invite you to put on the chat the number of answers yes. If this situation it's open, it's access for our client, and I see information that it's hard to understand the second and third condition, maybe I repeat for a moment. Second, the client can register at the employment office. And third situation, we can offer the client a predisposition test. Okay, so what do you think as a career counselor about the situation for our participants? Yes, and I ask you to write on our chat the number of answer yes. Okay. I see the same answers. Okay, it's very interesting. Okay, it depends. Thank you, Eva, for these comments. Of course, this one short sentence isn't enough to imagine with details the situation of our client, but of course, it's a very quick, very short exercise during our webinar. Okay, thank you. It's very interesting for me because I observed that the number of answers yes, it's very similar, and it isn't depend the country from career counselor, right? Okay, thank you. So I see and I feel that your opinion, your assumptions about accessibility, career counseling session for this participant from our exercise are the same. Okay, thank you. I invite you for more answers for our chat. You can observe this information. Thank you. And I come back to presentation now. Okay. Thank you very much for your participation in these exercises. It's about meaning making. It's about our opinions or assumptions about how much yes or no our career counseling it's accessible for clients, for help seekers with different special needs. In our exercise, we observe participants with learning disability, but of course we can repeat this exercise for clients with different fragile social groups. Okay, and maybe one recommendation, of course we can start thinking about accessible career counseling to prepare accessible contract. On this slide, you can see the proposition, the examples of accessible contract, and you see that maybe the solution is to resign from verbal tools from verbal contract and choose graphs or other visualization tools. One recommendation from our side, it's very important to provide some kind of pilotage, these accessible tools, with representatives of fragile groups, for example, people with different kind of disabilities, because only in this situation we have feedback from these groups if proposed tools are really free and open and useful for them. So one recommendation from our side. Okay, and now we run to a proposition from Poland. It's practice accessibility career counseling and a proposition of practical workshops which we provided in Poland, in 4 regions in Poland, and about 200 career counselors from different fields taken part in these workshops in Poland. The aim is improving accessibility of tools through co-creating prototypes together with special clients with special needs. Methodology, we're using co-creation and service design tools, mostly design thinking methods and tools, to modify tools with active feedback from experts with unique personal experience, disability, migration, etc. And it's important that the training team it's big because we have 2 co-trainers, a career counselor and universal design trainer in one person, and also Monica, expert with sight disability and also auditor of accessibility. But a very important part of our team where external experts with different types of disabilities, they they joined workshops during a second day and give very practical feedback for career counselors. And the most important question is, what tools do we adapt? And of course, almost all tools, apart from psychometric ones, because during these workshops, and it isn't our recommendation, we don't modify any psychological tests, we don't modify test tools. Practical proposition, it's 2-day workshops, and you can see on the slides summary of program, this training. During first day, the most important situation for career counseling, it's simulating the perspective of a person with sight disability. They could put deeply in the situation of person with this kind of disability to try understand the current challenges, barriers, this group of clients. And next, we start design thinking method process with empathization, of course, with defining the project challenge. I mean, career counseling, discuss about definition, the main barrier or challenges which they want to modify or change during workshops, and generating solution concerning the tool. During a second day of training, we continue this process, and here is very creative part, counseling tool prototyping. And next, we invite these external experts with unique experience of different kinds of disabilities, and they made tasting these prototypes with career counseling and prepare practical feedback for our participants. On the end, we prepare also for career counselors exercise with networking, because we cooperate with experts by experience for many years, and we have this network very active. But some of these career counselors, participants of our workshops in different regions of Poland, hadn't in this time some connections, some relationships with non-governmental organizations or non-formal groups, and they haven't contacts to experts with experience of disability, migration, and others. So in these last exercises, our trainers developing competences, career counselors, how to create this network on the local labor market. And very important part, a little invisible, because it's in the backstage, was also preparing experts with special needs to co-creating workshops, to give counselors useful and practical feedback. So we realize first, this training for experts by experience methodology was training on accessibility standards, training how reporting, how communicate with career counselors, and training which we give title co-empathization training. Why? Because we observe, we have some feedback from experts by experience that sometimes they don't know enough what is the special needs others, fragile social groups. For example, experts with learning disability don't understand in details the situation colleague with psychiatric crisis, or a colleague with sensor disability. So we need to add this extra co-empathization training to prepare our experts by experience to make really practical feedback for counselors. Okay, and maybe a few photos, and you have opportunity to empathize with our career counselors and expert by experience through these photos. And this is visualization all stages from our workshops. First, it was empathization stage. And very important part of this step is selection profiles of person with special needs. You can observe this person on canvas, which we prepare for training here on this wall. And on the right side of slides, it's a group of career counselors during very intensive, very deeply discussion about needs, about situation, persons with special needs, they chosen for these exercises. Stage second, it's defining the project challenge. And of course, during all process, our co-trainers, Kamila and Monika, supported career counselors, give them some some important question, some recommendation, and they facilitated this process. Third stage, generating solution related to the tool. So first, counselors define the challenge, what is the most important modification of counseling tools. And next, they're generating different solution related to this tool. Next, very creative stage, prototyping accessible tools. Some career counselor prepare original tools they use during current session with their clients, but some career counselors want to create something new, something fresh. So the final prototype, it depends for decision of a counselor. And final stage, feedback from experts with disabilities. You can observe our expert during this process. Here, and here on the photos, you can see experts with different kinds of disabilities, and around their career counselor who describe the proposition of modification, of transformation, chosen counseling tools. It was very fresh, very interesting situation for both sides. And I have feedback from counselors that this part, that it is worth even one full day to realize this feedback together with experts with disabilities. And on this slide, you have some simple presentation of how to modify some tools. It's one of my wonderful tools from social dynamic approach in career counseling mapping. And on the left side of slides, you can see verbal tool. And on the right, it's the proposition of tool prepared with clients in psychiatric crisis. She prefer this much more visual version of this tool. Okay, and because of the time, I have final request to you. You see on this slide some simple, nice tool, a part of tool from one of Polish projects for clients with learning disabilities, some simple black and white graphs. And I have two questions for you. How made this tool made more accessible for clients from different groups? As I told, originally, this tool is for clients with learning disabilities. But could you think without writing. Only thing, which proposition of modifying these tools will be better for clients from other culture, for example, from African countries? Is one question. And maybe second, okay, and which solution help us to make this tool more open and friendly for clients with visual disabilities, with sight disabilities. Okay, and it's also a proposition for you to start some practical discussion with your colleagues in your office, with others career counseling. And on the end of my presentation, I want to underline that during this process, the most important, the core context, it's also using accessible information together and with experts by experience. Accessible information, it's information provided in formats that enable every user to access the content. So it's equal basis with others. And accessible information, it's also this kind of communication, verbal or non-verbal, which can be effectively received and understood through various channels, such as sight, hearing, or fingers. So let's think about it. If our tools in our current work as a career counselor are really prepared with this accessible information. Okay. I invite to cooperate during this training our experts on practical accessibility in Poland, in Wrocław, in Imago Foundation. We moderate this group, people with different kinds of disabilities, but also with experience of migration, etc. And on this photo, you can see a part of co-empathization training. Because, as I told, we discovered together with our experts that they haven't enough know-how, knowledge, enough skills to understand deeply colleagues with other special needs. So we started this compatization training with very good effect, because these experts that now can join to a new training with career counselors and give feedback not only as a representative of our own social group, but also can give useful information about challenges and barriers others colleague with other kind of disabilities. And we invite these experts to process pilotage, and also in the Polish law context, because we have the Act of Ensuring Accessibility in Poland, with duty for especially public sector and non-governmental sector to participate, to invite for participation in planning activities in every institution, company, experts with different special needs. So this forum of experts on practical accessibility, it's our answer also for this formal duty. And last two slides from my side. And also, I also prepared some question for you. And the question is, if only career counselors are responsible for accessible counseling. And of course, the answer is no, because we need strong support of our managers, the directors of our institutions, organization, to support this very sensitive stage of organization counseling for our client. What I mean, me as a career counselor need support of my director to make our website accessible, to give me access to these communication tools, which will be accessible for clients with different disabilities during, for example, online session. It's also analyzing the barriers in the rooms inside the institution where I provide face-to-face session with my clients. And I need support of my director to organize this condition around me and my client to make friendly and a safe situation for every client. And on this slide, it's some little recommendation also for your managers. The tools I use, interesting source for you, Salto Youth materials, and very practical questionnaires and checklist tips, which help you to analyze how much your organization, your institution are open, are prepared for work with clients with different special needs, and if we are really diversity-oriented counseling institution. And on the end, I also share with you in this slide 2 practical movies from our Polish project. One about experts on practical accessibility, who are they really, and second material from Polish national television, documentary from workshops in one of the region of Poland. So I invite you to see these movies during the next few days. Okay, it's the end of my presentation, and I give you as a gift these 2 graphs, the person, help seekers with different special needs. And this is a symbol of us, career counselors, who are open for create more accessible tools for our client. I believe, but much more I know after this experience in Poland, that it's possible, and it's current standard in our work. We invite more and more experts by experience with new special needs to create these tools with us, and we share this knowledge also in different articles, publications, which are open also for you. Thank you very much for your attention. And I think that I can invite next 2 guests from Czech Republic. So the table, the board, it's for you, Lucie and Lenka. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Barbara. Very kind of you. And hello from Czech Republic. It's very nice to be here with you. I am Lucie, and here's Lenka with me. We are both from Organization Aspect, and it's a great pleasure for us to introduce you our, we hope, examples of best practice. And thanks for introduction. Thanks to Euroguidance Center for this organizing of this meeting, and thanks that you are here with us. So let's move to our presentation. Maybe in the beginning, we would like to ask you to think with us. Maybe you can see that our name of our organization is called Aspect, and see it's in English, it's almost the same, it's Aspect. And I would like to ask you, would you be so nice and think of what a word aspect evokes in you, and write us into the chat. A word aspect, what what is your imagination when you think of that word?
Yeah, in connection maybe to our work as career counselors.
And we are wondering with Lenka if you hit some ideas which we had in our minds once we were establishing Aspect in 2008. So thank you. We are watching your ideas. Great.
Perspective, different points of view.
A spectrum, wonderful motivation. What else? We are curious, write us please. Opportunities, wonderful. Some other ideas, different phases of counseling. What else? What else is in your minds? Point of view, wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
individual aspect, perfect. Thank you. So I see, Lenka, we are here with people who are somehow on the same mindset.
Yeah,
or-
mindset. And
with-
I can see that in Portuguese, it's almost the same as in Czech, you know, and as in English. So we chose a good word for our organization.
Yes. And see, and thanks to all of you for your ideas and sharing. Well, now it's time to say to you what was our mission once we started with Aspect. We wanted to support people with health issues to find their place in the society. And what we prefer, it's to help them to get to regular workplaces, because we feel that this is the right way how they can be included into society. And we want to find workplaces where they will feel well as where their employer would be satisfied with them. Yeah. And you can see that we have already some practice with that. So later we find out that it's really important also to show to our colleagues and to employers and to public that it's really common to work in regular workplaces. Yeah. So this is our mission. And now let me shortly introduce you who are our clients. Maybe you can see, or not maybe, you can see, I see, at least I hope, some examples of our clients. Maybe you can see, and Lenka and other counselors who are here with our clients. All of these people are people with various health issues. Sometimes intellectual disability, sometimes psychological disorders. You can see also people with troubles to move somehow, and some of them, they are younger people who are just in the beginning of their careers, because we are also in contact with schools and we visit schools to help also students who are just finishing their study.
And these are students with special needs.
Yes, exactly. And so we want to help them, to all of these clients, to support them to be able to think about their careers and to be able to realize it. And so the most often questions or topics which we focus on are the questions which I'm sure you all know. Yeah, things like, what can I do even if I had some troubles in health issues? What should I, how should I do it to work? Or sometimes also why I should work, especially students at school. Sometimes they are not motivated to work. So we want to address this topic. And other things which you can read now on the list. I'm sure we have similar topic with you, as we can see that you are with the similar mindset as we are here. And maybe I would like to show you also, or to attract your attention to activities which are maybe not so common, and they were not so common for us once we began with our service. And this is that we are trying to support people with their cognitive skills, because we later saw that once we help them to support their cognitive skills, which means, for example, concentration or decision-making process or ability to plan or long-term, short-term memory. We saw that once we help them in these areas, it will really help them to have better lives, to have higher quality of their lives. And this is something, Lenka, which we didn't use in the very beginning of our service. Am I right?
You're right.
So we also find out new topics and change our service all the time, which it's one of very important aspect of our job, I would say. And now let me share with you at least some more aspects which we find as the crucial one in our job. And thank you, Barbara, that you are here with us today and that you mentioned WENS PV and sociodynamic counseling.
We are so proud because we got Barbara into sociodynamic counseling, you know. We actually introduced her to it somehow, I think. Correct me, Basha, if I'm wrong. But
yes, I agree. It was wonderful, common international project. So thank you very much again. Yes.
But see, this is also it is also great value of international cooperation, because in one of our first international projects we met sociodynamic counseling. It was through Euroguidance Center training. It's, I don't know, 15 years ago, maybe even it was, I don't know when, it's too a long time. But then when I first time saw sociodynamic counseling, I thought that maybe this could be very good basis for our philosophy once we decided to have service for people with disabilities. And maybe we can mention that me and Lenka, we had studied philosophical faculty many years ago, and we felt that it's really important to have your basis, to know what you are coming from. And during our service, we saw that having known what is in our basis, what's important for us, it helped us later on to choose the right tools for working with clients. Yeah. And we try to spread these ideas to other counselors. And so we also can mention here with sociodynamic counseling. We don't know if you can, if you usually know it and if you use it. And later on, Lenka will show you how we are implementing it in our practice. And what else is in our basis? It's supported employment. Yeah. Supported employment is for us the great tool how we can integrate people with various types of disabilities into society.
We took the methodology and we enriched it of the sociodynamic approach.
Yes, and right now I would like to thank to our participants. Sorry, I don't want to pronounce your name wrong, but I see that PV was introduced in that's exactly the year 2010 by Czech Euroguidance project on training of care counselors, and it was exactly the place where I met PV as well. So, and let's move to second aspect of our job, and it's cooperation and maybe let's say also networking, which is very useful and helpful once we want to have good quality service for our clients. And what we find, it's great. We are not sharing the presentation.
Or you mean later? Because we are looking in the chat and okay, this is the question.
Okay.
Later sharing the presentation.
Yes. Thank you, Lenka, for this interruption. And now you can probably see the second aspect of our service, and it's cooperation. And it's cooperation with families, with other social services, schools. We have mentioned employers. We cooperate with local authorities, with labor offices and other services, and every cooperation goes for our clients. And once we cooperate together, we can help also to people, like you can see in that picture, one of our clients with his mother, and thanks to this cooperation, his life could change really. And you maybe remember that in the beginning of my presentation, I told you that we want to also to spread the idea that it's common to work. And this photo is from one of these activities. We decided to show the best practice where employment of these people with disabilities was successful. And once we show it, we feel then later we can be able to find more places for our job seekers or clients, that it's really helpful. And once we can show also the members of the family, once we can explain how it changed the employer's views, once they have this person with disability included in their team, altogether it helps to our service. So that's why we do it.
Yes, to us care counselors, this helps because Lucie is doing it actually on the Republic level somehow to spread the word that it's common and it's normal to include people with disabilities into regular labor market, as they say, free labor market, right?
So this is one level of cooperation, and we have already mentioned several times that it's common for us to cooperate with the European Union on projects, special projects, and see for the first time it brought us socio-dynamic counseling. Later on we met Basha, and a few years ago we met virtual reality thanks to another Erasmus Plus project. And maybe now, Lenka, it could be a good time to ask our participants if they know virtual reality, if they use it somehow. Please, can you write us in the chat? Have you experienced any type of experience with virtual reality? Would you be so nice and write us into the chat? Yes or no?
Yeah.
No? Okay. Not yet. No experience. Okay, wonderful. We are in schools. Wonderful. I do not, but in Prague coming a seminar on that topic. Yeah. Maybe Linda, you wrote that in Prague there will be a seminar. I don't know. Maybe you are thinking about our activity. Maybe not. Yes, Basha, wonderful. Because Basha, again, we cooperate with Basha on our project, the second one with virtual reality. And Linda, you will find the link. Maybe I can share with you later on the link.
And look, they have somewhere they have digital center.
Wonderful.
That's wonderful. In classrooms. Okay, so we can see that some of you have some experience and maybe even bigger than we do, and yeah, some of you don't have any experience.
So maybe Linda, thank you for your hits or your point to Prague activity. We are also fans of virtual reality, and Lenka will later show you how we used it to make a really individual approach with our clients and how to support people's empowerment in the process of in our service. And yes, Linda, wonderful. That's our, let's say, it's seminar. And maybe if some of you would be interested in virtual reality, then you can find more information about our common project with Barbara on the website, which is mentioned there, or you can join to our conference in Prague, which is coming just in 3 weeks. And maybe you don't have a chance to come to Prague, so at least Lenka will show you how we used it with our clients, Marcela and Helena as well, right? So now it's time to pass it to Lenka.
So let me introduce you to our best practice example about our client Marcela. Mrs. Marcela is a 49 years old lady, and she suffers from multiple sclerosis. It impacts her physically and also mentally. So in the physical part, she's got tremors in her body, and she uses crutches for walking. As far as the psychological impact, mainly her cognitive skills are impacted. So it's the ones which I would stress out from what is important for her job are short-term memory and challenges with processing complex information. Marcela is a lady who had only one job in her life, but she stayed there for 28 years. So she lost the job due to her illness, unfortunately. At the moment, she has a 3rd-degree disability, which is the most severe. We have 3-degree system of disability in the Czech Republic. And she is she is a great lady, and she really has a no complaint attitude. So working with her, cooperating with her is a pleasure, basically. When she came to us, the labor office sent her, and she was out of the job for 2 years. She had 1st-degree disability, and it was quite shocking because the labor office wanted her to work, and at the same time they claimed, how could she work in this state? It's impossible. The same said the doctors. So I was very confused, and I'm like, how is it possible that they say they don't want you to work, and then they want you to work, you know? So I encouraged her to get you know, re-examined and stuff like that. So now she's got the 3rd degree, which is actually in accordance to her actual health status. She also had a 0 digital knowledge, which proved to be very important later for her job. Now I would like to mention the career counseling part. You can see the life space mapping, which Barbara mentioned as well. We did this with her, and we mapped her presence, and then we let her dream about her future. After that, we take the dream and compare it to the reality and options in reality. But the dreaming part is very important. You can see my writing here because she's got tremors in her hands, so it's very hard for her to write. So this is actually what she was telling me to write. As far as the counseling process, we used different tools to identify her strengths and weaknesses. We encourage her with different tools to get to know the labor market because, as I said, she knew very little from the labor market. And plus the usual things in the career counseling process like CV, etc. Here, I will show you a short video.
Excuse me, your sound is off.
Yeah, Lenka, you're muted, so we can't hear you. Lucie and Lenka, you're muted, we can't hear you.
Just now?
Now, Lenka, there is some echo.
Now you can hear us.
Yeah, now it's great.
Oh, okay.
Sorry
About that. Yes. Okay, let me share the presentation once again.
So before Lenka goes to that, we wanted to remind you that we are working using or on the basis of supported employment, and job profiling is one of the stages. So we can say that it's a part of counseling part. And yes, through these videos or scenarios, our client had a chance to get to the workplaces which wouldn't be accessible for her, right? So thanks to virtual reality, to the videos which we prepared for her, she could do it. And because Lenka was also supporting her how to use computer and smartphones and stuff like that, because it was longer cooperation, about 2 years.
Yeah.
When Lenka met this client, step by step, our client was more able to use these technical devices. And so devices which were not common for her in the very beginning were very helpful during the process. Yeah. So then we can say that the virtual reality, from our point of view, makes our service much more accessible for our clients, even for clients where you wouldn't expect it. Maybe later on, Lenka will show you another type of clients where also virtual reality was helping. But now cognitive function development, right?
Back to Marcela, and because of her illness, it impacts cognitive functions. So to keep the client's chances for employment, we worked on cognitive functions, we trained them, and we have many tools for that. I will show you some of them. Here you can see a worksheet which served for activation of long-term memory. You can see that her writing is impacted by the tremors. And the second one is training of fine motor skills. It's really like very detailed work. She was patient enough, even though it was very hard for her to do. Here is another type of application in virtual reality. It's an enhanced application which was developed exactly to copy the brain functions. So we have very good experience with this application. Here you can see, coincidentally, also kitchen. That's a cooking simulator where she trained psychomotoric functions, attention, concentration, but also problem solving and decision making. And here is an example of a strength we discovered about her. She's got great spatial perception. You can see the object, how complicated it is. It's floating in front of her together with the smaller shapes. And she needs to find out how to place it to fulfill the task. And you could see here in the video, I will show it again, that she needed to stand up sometimes, which is quite hard for her. But it was not the purpose, but she actually rehabilitated like this through her whole body, or with her whole body. Here are some more examples of what we used for her development. It impacts, each of the tools impacts the brain differently. Yeah, so here they are. And now to work. So how we found suitable work for her, and it will be also a description of the supported employment methodology somehow for you. We needed to negotiate with an employer, and we negotiated about the possibility. I was not by myself in this. I had big help because Lucie, as our director, started the negotiations with this big company, and we negotiated the conditions with respect to her health and to her individual needs, we first got a permission to try the work. So she could come to the factory, and we went with her, and she tried the work. If it's suitable for her, if there is a potential that she would manage the job and she would like it, and also for the employer to see if this could work. Well, it went well, it all clicked, fortunately. So now she's got a job with a flexible contract, and she's folding different boxes. It's, it has some are more complicated, some are less complicated, but it's a factory which makes keys and everything connected to keys. And she can work in her own pace and with no quantity standards. She only needs to keep the quality standards, which she's able to. Here, she can use trained psychomotoric functions, the spatial orientation, also attention concentration, and also BC skills. Because, for example, the payroll, she gets it only via email. She didn't have any email. She didn't know how to use it before she came to us. Also, for example, the catering in the factory, you can order meals only via application in the smartphone. So she uses smartphone. She didn't know previously how to use smartphone. Now she's able to really be included and be as any other employee. Yeah. So.
And maybe before you skip to another slide, I can tell just that we found this employer through the activities which I just mentioned previously. Once we were showing to our employers how people with disabilities can work, this employer was interested to develop this cooperation as well. And that was the very beginning of the cooperation and the inclusion of Mrs. Teď mám vypadek jméno.
Marcel.
Mrs. Marcel, thank you. Into the society, yeah. And now Helenka, just shortly.
Helenka is a 39-year-old lady with intellectual disability, and she, she had never worked before. She got her first job at the age of 37 when she started to cooperate with us. She is also a very cheerful and positive person, and we needed to work on many things with her. She had no image of work life, no image about being an employee, no work habits, etc. And additionally, she had some health issues, physical health issues, because she experienced a trauma and gained a lot of weight because of that. So back pains appeared and troubles to walk longer distances. So we needed to look for a job which would also improve her physical state. As far as the counseling process, you can see the example of counseling where I let her cut out pictures out of magazines. The writing on the right upper left, I mean upper side, right upper side. I always wrote, she told me the word and I wrote it for her, and then she copied it to this paper. So this is how we did it. We talked a lot about everything, and what was even more important, it is not easy to understand for her while talking about the jobs, about the possibilities, about the abilities and stuff like that. So what we voted for was trials. She tried the work, and we were exploring the potential to learn the job. Well, we succeeded, and now she works half-time as a flyer distributor. And she, there was one thing I would like to stress out, and that is that at one point she thought, well, this job is quite hard, so maybe I could work as a cleaning lady, because one of her roommates talked about it so nicely. And imagine my shock, because we put so much energy into it, to negotiate with all the sides, protected household assistants, with the employer, with her legal representative. It was very complicated, and we put a lot of energy into learning, into teaching her the job, you know, supporting her in this. And I could have said, this is insane, like, you need to keep this job, you know, so much energy was put into it. Well, this is not what we did. We respected her wish, and we let her explore it. And we let her explore it via another client whom we asked if she could try the job at her workplace. And I was just moderating a counseling interview with the client and the former client, where the former client was actually, through my questions, telling my client Helenka you know, about the job. And like this, she could come to a decision that her current job is actually better for her. So it was completely her decision. And after that, there was a huge change in taking over responsibility for the job. Previously, she at one point worked with a co-worker, and I could see that she puts the responsibility on the co-worker. After this experience, suddenly I could see that it's really her job, that she internalized it. What we used to build her job abilities was also virtual reality. We made a custom-made video. You can see it now. Yeah, it's not going to be very fluent during this. Yeah, but you see that I shot the problematic places. She could sit at home in a warm room, and she could be at the troublesome spot and learn. So there was first this tutorial, and I included also her and her colleague, because I realized that when she is included also in developing the helping tool, she owns it much more, and she's more involved. Yeah, and this is the test part. So then she used the controller, and she needed to find all the mailboxes where you know, she was supposed to put the flyers. Nothing with Helenka was automatic, you know. So she she needed to learn really everything from the very beginning. The result is that now she's completely independent during distribution, independent in counting flyers, actually, because she's got a tool for it, so she can count hundreds of flyers. She's independent in making sets of flyers, travels by bus by herself. Previously, she never traveled by herself, and she can solve situations with inhabitants of the area by herself. And what is even more fantastic is that she knows the value of free time, of vacation, and she knows what responsibility feels like. And she's just like everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Which Lenka just finished the presentation. I can connect it with that's the point of why we really enjoy sociodynamic counseling, because it's exactly this philosophy of the life, to be a part of common society, and we feel that that's the way, supported employment and helping cooperation with the society around the person, individual approach, and special tools which we can't think that people with, for example, mental or intellectual disabilities are not the right one for things like virtual reality or with smartphones and stuff like that. That's yes. So sometimes we have some boundaries in our minds, and we have to be open to new tools, and then it works. And I think we are almost in the end of our presentation, right? So thank you very much for your attention, and we are here to your questions. Maybe I started to write here the answer for the question if there are some benefits for employers Well, I would say that there could be much more than it is, right? But I'm sorry, I am not sure if we have enough time here to discuss about the benefits of open labor market and we call it sheltered workshops. I believe that in Czech Republic could be much more because there are not so many financial benefits for common workplaces, unfortunately. We hope that it could be better. Mm-hmm. But thanks for your questions, and we are here to answer other questions. Thanks for your comments.
Yeah. Such nice comments. Thank you.
Oh, it's nice to read it, right?
Yes, yes, it is.
I don't know what's next step if colleagues from you are writing about sheltered workshops. Let's say that we are trying to be then something like next step after sheltered workshops, right? We are trying to help people to get to normal regular jobs, not to sheltered workshops. So it's like right now in Czech Republic, big discussion how we can move from the, let's call it social services or special sheltered workshop for people with disabilities, how we can move people from these workshops to normal regular jobs. And we in Aspect consider that normal regular jobs are the places where people can really integrate. It's much more integrating than other type of activities which are special designed for people where they are more or less still separated.
Yes. The actual, into the labor, actual social inclusion, exactly. The sheltered workshops are preparation. They can learn some work habits and stuff like that, and then,
well,
labor include them, like, you know, to be just like everybody else. That's our philosophy.
Yes, but like Lenka, maybe now you are explaining how what's our wish. But unfortunately, it's not reality right now. But it will
how we are funded. We needed first because we are free for our clients. So first years when we established Aspect, we ran on European money, and then we established as a social service. So we are paid from the state out of the county. You know, so yeah.
Yes,
kitchen
I am reading about from our friend from Jobs Plus. Sorry,
we have work simulation.
Yes, that you are working with work simulation. It would be great somehow if we if we could be in contact and share our practice. That could be useful. If this could be useful for our clients, that would be great.
We are able to produce our own videos. Maybe we didn't mention it. That's what we learned together with Barbara. Her organization can do it now too, to produce a custom-made training videos for our clients. Do you also work with foreigners? We are able to, but we don't usually. But we are open to anything, I would say. We have in our counseling service, we have some people from Ukraine now, and sometimes we are able to work with people who speak some Czech or English.
We are with Lenka reading your comments in chat, so that's why we are sometimes silent. And thanks for all the comments.
Yes, thanks to Czech Euroguidance, there is a translation of the socio-dynamic counseling from Van Spivey.
Did you answer the question about funding, right?
Yeah,
like
I did.
We are social service. Yeah. In the very beginning, we